The Sad Boy Computer Club Hardware Chronicles is currently on a brief hiatus for hardware retooling. Please enjoy this alternative content in the interim. So after the last couple of videos, I felt like I needed to do something that I at least have some idea of what I'm talking about. This is the opl3 Duo. It's by Cheerful Electronic from the Netherlands. It runs off of two YMF 262s. It's basically a tiny little MIDI programmable or serial programmable or however you want to program it audio board. It's unbelievably cool. It's the same FM synthesizers on the Sound Blaster 16. I think the AdLib Gold as well. I never had any AdLib cards, so I can't say for certain. I've got it hooked up to a Teensy 4.0 right now. It can run off of a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino or an Orange Pi. I mean, technically the original one was called the opl2 audio board, and the entire software library for it is called opl2 Arduino. So it was intended to run off an Arduino, so you should be able to do basically everything for these devices off of pretty much any programmable small computer or microcontroller, but I'm just using a Teensy because it's fast and convenient. Actually, I feel I need to point out that only the Teensy can be used to generate MIDI signals. The Teensy is just made a little different. It can emulate almost any kind of USB device that outputs a signal of any kind, and MIDI is included in that. That's just not something that the Arduino can do. I don't know if the Raspberry Pi can do it. Might be able to. Whatever. The intent here is to show you how to use this little device as an actual OPL music synthesizer within Dosbox X and not just dump MIDI to it, which did not sound at all like I was hoping it would. So the Arduino opl2 GitHub library has a very comprehensive wiki page on configuring the devices for MIDI use in Dosbox, and it works perfectly as it shows on the page, but it might not be what you're expecting the device to do. And I will pull up the serial pass-through, which after you install the library you can find under Arduino opl2, and there's one for the opl2 as well as the opl3 boards. I'm using a 3, so I'll just load up serial pass-through. It's under the base Arduino instructions, but I'm using a Teensy, so something I need to specifically do here is change my board type from MIDI, as I was using it in MIDI style previously, to serial. Otherwise, you can literally just run the exact same Arduino code on the Teensy, click verify, it compiles the code, and after this is finished, it will pop up the Teensy loader. Should have popped up the Teensy loader. I had to pop it up myself, but let's do this anyway. It usually does that on verify. I guess I maybe have to, my board's offline. Isn't this just going great? USB type of serial. All right, hold on a second. Let me unplug the board and plug the board back in. And let's try this again. First off, let's get board info. Please select a port. Teensy, USB, serial. Yeah, that's interesting. Hold on a second, let me rerun Arduino. How about now? There we go. Now it popped up automatically. It's telling me to press the button on my Teensy. I'm going to press the button on my Teensy. There it goes. It's literally done now. So at this point, all we have to do is run Dosbox X with some special configuration options. Once you've got Dosbox X installed, you're going to want to pull up the Dosbox configuration. Now you'll probably have to run the program once and save the configuration manually to get here, but here are the things you'll want to change. Under the S-Blaster heading, you will need to set OPL mode to opl3 or opl2 if you're using the opl2 board instead. OPL MU is set to opl3 Duo board. For myself, you might need to set it to opl2 board. And OPL port. I'm using COM5 specifically because that's just what device I'm on. Let's refresh my device manager. Maybe. Hello. Oh, well, whatever. It's still showing up, but this is my Arduino, or my Teensy, excuse me. It's on COM5, so I've got that there. When I do run it on the Arduino, I have to change that to COM4, but anyway. So once you've got those changes to the Dosbox configuration, you can run Dosbox directly. Let's change our music device from General MIDI to Sound Blaster. Now, obviously, changing the screen sizes and stuff like that will result in some unexpected slowdown and all that, because this is just a serial protocol, so it's got to, you know, keep up with itself. But anyway, you can hear the difference, and there will be a few examples of side-by-side MIDI versus raw OPL in just a second. Anyway, sorry this probably wasn't too interesting to most people. I just kind of wanted to show the difference between what you'd get by following the directions directly versus what I wanted it to sound like, and I hope I've accomplished that. We will return to our regularly scheduled hardware heresy as soon as we possibly can. Thank you for your patience. Have a wonderful day.